While we are celebrating Eaglecrest's 50th anniversary this year, Juneau has been a ski town for over 100 years. The earliest ski clubs in Juneau date back to 1911, when the Douglas Winter Sports Association was formed and skied on the streets of Douglas and Juneau. Then, fast forward a few years to 1932. The first rope tow in Juneau was installed near the present-day junction of the Perseverance and Granite Creek trails. This kicked off the development of skiing in Juneau. While it was in operation, the Mountaineers Club was formed and a new ski run at Cowie Creek Valley was developed. Then, in 1935, the Douglas Bridge was completed, which was crucial to the current state of skiing in Juneau. This was a big year as the rope tow shut down and the Mountaineers Club became the Juneau Ski Club, which became the driving force of skiing in Juneau. The Juneau Ski Jump was also constructed on Cordova Street that year by the CCC and drew hundreds of spectators and skiers. Derek Crooks was one of the first people to teach ski lessons in Juneau and did so in 1938. Lessons were taught in the Evergreen Bowl, which later became Cope Park. Crooks later had the downhill race above Second Meadow named after him for his contributions to the sport. The first ski patrol was also formed shortly after lessons began in 1940. The Juneau Ski Patrol was available for anyone who needed help in the First and Second Meadow at the time, and eventually became affiliated with the National Ski Patrol in 1954. Skiers were brought to the Second Meadow by a Tucker snowcat named Ula. Ula could carry 52 skiers up at a time, but sometimes you could fit more, as the record is 62 skiers at one time. Tickets were $1 for youth and $2 for adults to ride up, and Ula took about 3 to 4 trips a day. Ula operated until 1962 before a Snowmaster snowcat would bring people up in 1970 until Eaglecrest opened. In 1953, the Kauai Ski Company, owned by the late Al Shaw, operated a commercial rope tow at Second Meadow, which operated until the Mighty Might lift opened at Eaglecrest. During the time, the Forest Service and Juneau Ski Club had a great relationship to develop skiing on Douglas Island, in which the Forest Service would do more technical things like clearing ski trails, constructing and maintaining shelters, avalanche control, and ski instructor certifications, while the Juneau Ski Club provided more of the organizational things like advertising, events, and community relations. The chalet was constructed at the Douglas Ski Bowl in 1957, which was designed by a Juneau High School shop class. The chalet had parts constructed at the high school and then sent to the ski bowl by Snowcat and then reassembled. Then, in 1967, the development of Eaglecrest ski area began. The Forest Service had a study led by Craig Lind and Bob Janes to find the best spot to put a ski area in. They evaluated Second Meadow, Upper Bowl, Steep Creek, Mount McGinnis, and Fish Creek Valley on multiple criteria. The findings saw Fish Creek Valley narrowly beat Mount McGinnis. Then, the Forest Service led a meeting that included Juneau ski legends like Arthur Skinner, Fred Eastaugh, Al Shaw, Dean Williams, Robert Buchever, Tom Pittman, Ron Dippold, Sig Olson, Craig Lind, and Bob Janes to discuss these findings and deemed Fish Creek Valley to have the most potential. In 1969, the Forest Service and Ski Club reached an agreement that Fish Creek was the most promising spot for a ski area. Craig Lind would then prepare the Fish Creek Winter Sports Area Feasibility Report, which considered base areas at Cropley Lake, Hilda Saddle, and the current site, and recommended a 5.1-mile highway to the base area. $950,000 was secured for road construction in 1971, with the Alaska State Highway Department managing the project, but even with that, construction stalled. Even with the road stalling, the planning of the ski area continued with potential lifts leading to the top of the Mount Ben Stewart and Fish Creek Knob. Road construction began in 1974, and it was a major year for Eaglecrest as Proposition 1 passed in Juneau. Proposition 1 decided if a sales tax would be used to fund Eaglecrest, and it had widespread support and passed by a 2-to-1 margin, which allowed for a $1.15 million budget to create Eaglecrest. Permits were issued on April 4, 1975 for the construction and operation of Fish Creek Winter Sports Area, which included 1 aerial lift, 2 surface lifts, day lodge, maintenance shop, and a parking area, while another permit was obtained to clear trails. The Juneau Ski Club sponsored an event to name the ski area, which had 147 names entered. The selection committee chose Eaglecrest, which was submitted by Melvin Henshaw, along with the phrase "Spread your wings at Eaglecrest." Among the others considered were Eagle Slopes, Eagle Valley, Snow Eagle, Ptarmigan Bowl, Ptarmigan Basin, and Ptarmigan Trails. The now defunct company Riblet won the bid to build the ptarmigan chair, which would have its opening delayed due to winter arriving in Juneau. The building of ptarmigan would take 2 summers to build, as all footing for the 18 towers were dug by hand. The ski school had 5 instructors, including Bill Stennis, the first general manager, and taught lessons off the platter pole. When Eaglecrest first opened, many trail names were different and featured the likes of Walk Up, Treadwell, Flat Top, Good Grief, and Quits. On January 16, 1976, Eaglecrest opened for the first time with just the platter pole.
I've been skiing here ever since Eaglecrest opened. I remember the opening day, and it was good snow, and our mayor, Jenny Klein, a very graceful lady, was up here skiing, and she was skiing down the slope, and a radio announcer was waiting for her. And so they asked her how the skiing was, and did she fall on her platter pole, the platter? And she said no, she had not. I also think about the people that really got Eaglecrest going. First of all, we had to get a road up here from the Douglas Highway, and we can thank Bob Buchever and Tom Stewart primarily for that, and dealing with getting the money from Washington, D.C. to build the road. And then the early leaders in the skiing program, Craig Lind and Al Shaw, who did a lot. And they were longtime skiers here in Juneau, of course.
The road to Eaglecrest was never an easy one to drive and was even too small to allow for two-way traffic. To solve this problem, there were designated drive to Eaglecrest and drive from Eaglecrest times before Berg Construction got the contract to widen the road and reduce grades. The Mighty Mite Toe was installed on the M&M Trail, which is now known as Sourdough, but was then relocated to the top of the platter pole after ptarmigan was completed. The Ski Patrol aid stations are also still standing today and are the A-frame structures near the ptarmigan and Hooter bases. After the first season ended, the first chair was hung on ptarmigan in July of 1976. Back then, everything was cheaper, with a ptarmigan lift ticket costing $7 and season passes costing $175. Needing another lift, Eaglecrest had another vote in the local elections, as Proposition 10 would allow for sales tax to be used for the funding of the Hooter chair and lighting for night skiing. This would pass, and Hooter chair was completed in 1978, while the platter pole was sold to Ketchikan for $1,000. 1977 was a big year for the ski school at Eaglecrest. Jim Wilf taught the first We Ski class and was the first PSIA certified instructor at Eaglecrest. Mary Grayson would start as a ski school director in 1978 and serve until 1991, where she would see the department grow from 6 instructors to 40. 2 years later, the ptarmigan engine was replaced to handle more skiers, and the Douglas Lions Club brought adaptive skiing to Juneau for the first time. Adaptive skiing would grow in 1994 when Challenge Alaska opened an office in Juneau, and in 1997 the ORCA program started. In 1981, the Assembly passed an ordinance establishing Eaglecrest's first board of directors, and a year later the state of Alaska transferred Eaglecrest to the city and borough of Juneau. The year also saw terrain expansion as Centennial, Hang Ten, Base, and Raven were all added to the map. Centennial would be later renamed Hillary's after Hillary Lind, and Ridge renamed Pittman's Ridge after Tom Pittman. During an eventful off-season, the counterweight on ptarmigan fell, which the motor room and bull wheel towards the first tower. No one was injured, and staff worked quickly to get the repairs done before the season began. The next season saw Eaglecrest operate 7 days a week for the first time, with night skiing on Wednesdays and Fridays. Rapidly expanding in 1984, Eaglecrest completed Base Lodge renovations, which doubled the size of the old lodge and built and reopened the Eagle's Nest to provide ski patrol services, warm-up space, restrooms, and food and beverage. Alpine Summer began in the off-season, featuring scenic lift rides, bubble chairs on ptarmigan, and new viewing platforms. A $500,000 grant received was used for snowmaking, Cropley Lake Dam, water intake system, a pump house, and new pipelines. In 1986, Eaglecrest reverted to opening 5 days per week with Thursday night skiing. Alpine Summer also ended ceasing summer operations at Eaglecrest. But it wasn't all bad for Eaglecrest, as Juneau native and Eaglecrest skier Hillary Lind became the first American to win the World Junior Championship downhill title. Lind, the daughter of Craig Lind, would go on to win silver in the 1992 Olympics and be inducted into the National Ski Hall of Fame in 2005. In 1993, the Trickster Trail was added in order to make the transition from the platter pole to the Hooter chair easier. Eaglecrest would later expand winter operations with tubing in 2000, which was short-lived as tubing operations ceased in 2006. The current porcupine chair was donated to Eaglecrest in 2006 for the cost of removal and shipping from the Aspen Skiing Company and still serves the mountain today.
The platter lift was never particularly fun for anybody. I grew up skiing rope tows at Mount Baker in Washington State, and it's a challenge. And a lot of people just go, this isn't fun. And so we've got to take all the hassle out of skiing and snowboarding. And so that was the impetus behind the porcupine chair, is just to make it easier for beginners to access the mountain.
The Eaglecrest Foundation was able to raise over $100,000 from local businesses and individuals to help get the lift to Juneau. This was a time of lift expansion at Eaglecrest, as the Black Bear Chair opened in 2009 after it was acquired in 2006 from North Star Ski Resort.
The idea was to take the stress off of Ptarmigan and give people the opportunity just to cycle on the east side where they really like that terrain.
The Hooter Midstation was removed in 2011 and Porcupine Lodge was approved in 2012, leading Eaglecrest to where we are now.
The main lodge was over full, and we needed to find space for growing programs like our seasonal ski school programs, the rental program, finding more space for the retail shop, the ticket and seasons pass office and admin offices were vastly undersized, and in areas of the building that had little to no insulation and many other issues with it. So we really sat down and went through a planning process and decided that another building that was more purpose-built for those things like the ski school and rentals and retail and the adaptive space and offices and space for the ski instructors was the next step for Eaglecrest.
But we would not be where we are right now without some very important individuals. Craig Lind searched for the site of Eaglecrest, helped to build Ptarmigan Chair, served as the first lead patroller, helped transfer the land to the city and borough of Juneau, served on the board of directors, and won the Juneau Ski Club Walter Scott Memorial Trophy in 1977. Bob Janes also searched for the site of Eaglecrest with Lind and surveyed the original ski runs. He was also the ski club president during Eaglecrest's founding, was deeply involved in community relations, 50-plus year member of the Juneau Ski Patrol, volunteered at the mountain, and started the Lions Club Handicap Ski Program, which is now known as ORCA. Del Carnes was instrumental on the patrol side as he patrolled 3rd Cabin, scouted sites for Eaglecrest, served as a volunteer patrol leader when Eaglecrest opened, and received National Ski Patrol's Outstanding Alpine Ski Patroller Award in 1977. Tom Pittman worked heavily on the planning side of Eaglecrest and served as a ski patroller, instructor, and operator at the now defunct Douglas Ski Bowl. Ron Dippold was a member of the Juneau Ski Patrol for 52 years and received the National Ski Patrol's National Appointment for Leadership and Service. Sig Olson served in the legendary 10th Mountain Division before moving to Juneau. He was heavily involved in the development of Eaglecrest and served on the Eaglecrest Advisory Committee and the first Eaglecrest Board of Directors. Tom Laurent assisted with avalanche control around Juneau and 3rd Cabin and assisted with the layout of Eaglecrest. Al Shaw formed the Kauai Ski Company, which operated the rope tow at Second Meadow and planned and lobbied for the development of Eaglecrest. Walt McPherson was a member of the Ski Area Development Committee and was instrumental in securing the Ptarmigan Chair from Riblet. He also served on the first Eaglecrest Advisory Committee. Over the years, the Juneau ski community has put in time and effort to make Eaglecrest happen, and it gives Eaglecrest its unique atmosphere it has today. We love this place, and we think you will too.
The first thing that comes to mind about the Juneau community is it's super welcoming. Like, people are everywhere I go are really nice, very friendly, really excited to talk about how much they love Juneau when they find out I'm new here.
I think one of the things that makes Eaglecrest unique is that it's community owned and community established. You didn't have some big developer just come in and create a ski resort. You had the people of Juneau working hard to create a recreation area.
The Eaglecrest community in Juneau is an amazing, amazing ski community. Super passionate about their ski area. Considered one of the great small community ski areas in the world, and they've been at it for a really long time. And the passion for there is certainly unique.
The community who uses Eaglecrest is very passionate. They are passionate about snow sports. They're passionate about the mountain. Passionate about making sure it's operating.
It felt like we wanted to be a part of the community. We couldn't ask the community to be part of Eaglecrest unless we were part of the community.
People just feel some ownership here with the mountain, and a lot of our locals have been skiing here for 20, 30, 40 years or more.
But what really makes Eaglecrest special is the people.
Well, to me, the social part of it was more important than the skiing itself, but certainly made a lot of friendships up here over the year, and I'm so grateful we have Eaglecrest.
It's like a family up here. Everybody helps each other out. Even when you're not at work, somebody's always asking you if you need something or coming to help you do stuff.
Just a wide variety of people that enjoyed the outdoors, enjoyed getting up to the mountain, enjoying the scenery, the camaraderie. It was a very social place, but also the challenges. I mean, they like to challenge themselves, whether they were first learning on, when I was there, the platter lift, or eventually the porcupine chair, or hiking up East Bowl or up to the ridge.
What it means to the community is a source of freedom, a source of exploration, and a place to just let our youth, learn to love the outdoors and the mountains and have fun.
Winter in Juneau provides locals with so many winter recreation opportunities.
It's a beautiful day to be out here today. Sun's out, not as busy. All right, you guys have a great run. See you next time.
It is just such a great winter opportunity for the residents of Juneau, and I think that particularly things like the Eaglecrest Foundation and the Books to Boards program and getting people introduced to skiing is a major winter recreation opportunity for the residents of Juneau. And as we've often heard, many people say if it wasn't for Eaglecrest, they couldn't survive the winter.
The financial support that the community has provided going back to 1974, when the community voted a temporary sales tax to support construction of Eaglecrest, the first lifts in the lodge, and then again in 1977, another sales tax vote to build the Hooter lift, and 1983 to expand the lodge and build the nest, and 2005 to construct Black Bear lift, and again in 2012 to construct Porcupine Lodge. So just a tremendous amount of community support at the ballot box for Eaglecrest.
The Eaglecrest community is one of the tightest knit ski communities in the country, but the people who show up to work each day are the ones who really keep this place going. Whether it's the stellar views or being able to work where you play, Eaglecrest is a tremendous place to work.
Most people don't get to experience it, but getting there at 6 o'clock in the morning when there's really nobody else there, the patrol is just starting to come in, and it's just so peaceful. And then staying until everybody else has left and having that same sort of peace at the end of the day.
Every day I have a moment where I am reminded, not only do I now live in Alaska, but work at, there's a magical place. There's been several. Obviously, like when getting on the upper mountain and skiing in the out the ridge, found some phenomenal tree lines. But just the general, I don't know, like when the sun's up, like today, you can see the mountains in the distance. There's these constant reminders of how like really wonderful this place is and how great it's been to move here. And
The scenery, the way everything looks here is just so surreal. It's like Colorado and a magic forest had a baby together.
Just coming in each day, it was always very varied as far as what you might get. Obviously at Eaglecrest, you can get snow, rain, and everything in between. So just coming in and being with the staff up there, we had a great crew while I was up there. Really enjoyed working with them and the different aspects of the Juneau Eaglecrest ski community to just have a lot of fun.
Some days it's catching the early sunrise as you're crossing over the bridge. Other days, it's the anticipation of the powder and how excited all our guests are going to be.
While the scenery is amazing, the people make it a wonderful place to work.
It's the people coming in each day to see the lives that are impacted here with our staff, the lives that are impacted with our community. It really is a big recharge every day to see the smiles that we're putting on people's faces, and hopefully some of the differences we're making in the lives, both in our community and our staff.
I think the best part about working there was the community, but also the staff. The staff was one big family. The community was a bigger part of the family. Also speaking of families, watching families interact together, grow together as skiers and snowboarders, and watching the kids grow up. They would start in our We Ski program, and then while I was there, many of them became ski instructors or snowboard instructors or ski coaches. So it was fun to watch them develop their skills and then give back to the community that way.
The best part of coming in every day is knowing that we have the opportunity to open up the sport to all of these local Juneau kids and just make the sport available in a place that is built perfectly for snow sports.
When we're teaching like those first timer students who've never skied before, and they just have that click moment where they're suddenly able to either whether it's balance or stop for the first time, and they just have this realization, seeing in them why skiing is fun. It goes from work to pleasure, and seeing that in students is what makes it worth it for me.
In order to make sure the Eaglecrest community lasts for generations to come, we need to keep teaching people how to ski and snowboard. The Eaglecrest Ski School plays an important role in keeping the spirit of Eaglecrest alive through years to come.
So I grew up here skiing and learned on the platter pole back in the day. When we had that, it was a good time. As a student, I can't imagine teaching on it, but I spent more time here probably in high school than I spent at home. And so having that connection that I had here at Eaglecrest really was something that I wanted to keep going.
Yeah, obviously the entire ski industry, one of their main focuses is to grow that next generation of skiers and instill that love of skiing and that lifelong passion for the sport is what drives the whole industry. And as the industry gets, or the skiers get older, everybody needs to find a way to bring in new skiers, and especially in a closed off area like Juneau that is not seeing lots of visits from out of the area, you have to grow your skiers from within. And so having a strong ski school that can get kids out in weekend programs and in the school programs and everything in between, as well as the higher end stuff like racing programs or free ski programs, is all a huge part of the success and longevity of an area like Eaglecrest.
I think it's really important just to keep the kids, interested in skiing and competition at various levels. It takes some dedication to do it, and the programs that we offer here really, help create skiers for a lifetime of not only just competition, but just enjoying the sport of skiing in general.
it's critical. It's, the only way we'll continue to have Eaglecrest is we have new generations of skiers coming up. Got to teach them the sport, and it doesn't take much. It's such a fun sport. So introducing kids to skiing is the first step. And once you've done that, they'll be hooked, and they'll be the season pass holders for the future, and ensure the sustainability of the ski area. The importance of recruiting people into the industry, into the sport, and then retaining them. And the retaining piece is really where ski and ride schools really come into shine, because we're very good at teaching people how to ski and snowboard, but locking them in and helping them become skiers and snowboarders, I think people don't understand how crucial a few lessons with an expert can be.
The importance of lessons is it's many. I know that we had a strong We Ski program and 3 to 6 year old program. So a lot of times those youngsters would come and learn how to ski, and their parents would either not have skied in many, many years, so that got them back skiing, or they were like, okay, well, Johnny's doing this, so I guess I should learn how to ski or snowboard as well. So I think lessons help to increase Eaglecrest user base.
Many of our skiers who learn to ski here get into the ski racing program with the Juneau Ski Club at Eaglecrest.
Well, we at our beginner level, we do Mighty Mite races, which are local races for 6 to 9 year olds, and we do 3 or 4 of those a year. And then we do Juneau Ski Club races as well that are for the older athletes in our group from 10 to 18 years old. But we also do U.S. Ski and Snowboard sanctioned races where the rest of the state of Alaska comes down to race here, as well as state championship races. And then we also hold free ride competitions as well here with the ski club.
Yeah, a lot of our students who learn and spend years in our programs, whether it's We Ski and the Powder Pilots to Mountain Explorers, will then go into Mighty Mites and beyond in the racing program. And so having that kind of just hand in hand, we're not necessarily working together, but we're definitely moving from one to another, and there is definitely a close-knit union there.
It really caters to a particular group of people who want to improve their technical skiing. And so while a lot of people look at skiing and snowboarding as more of a recreational opportunity, the Juneau Ski Club allows that group of people who want to really take it to the next level to be able to do that.
This is my 6th year teaching, and I just enjoy working with the kids, and it's fun to see them be successful and working hard. And for me to be able to give back to the sport, I started as a Mighty Mite here with the Juneau Ski Club, and so it's a pretty cool experience to come full circle now to be coaching and just passing it on to the next generation.
That Juneau Ski Club has put out some amazing skiers as well as the whole mountain, and so it was really fun to work with them. They were passionate about it. They had fun, creative ways to run town downhills and groom Super G and Hillary's when we could. And it's one of those things that has a really long history, dating back even before Eaglecrest, as far as skiing in Juneau. And to this day, I believe they still got a great program and getting kids out racing. It's really the next step after the ski school, right? The ski school can get kids skiing and get the fundamentals down if you want to take it to the next level and have some more fun going fast.
The ski racing community has been a part of Eaglecrest since the very beginning. The Juneau Ski Club was pretty instrumental in helping form Eaglecrest, and in 1992 when Hillary Lynn won the silver medal at the Olympics, that really put Eaglecrest on the map, and I think that a ski racer was really one of Eaglecrest's first celebrities. So I think it's been well received and well supported by both the mountain and the community here.
Eaglecrest is also known for its unique jumps and features throughout the mountain, but terrain parks at Eaglecrest give the mountain even more added value for those wanting to hone in on their skills.
I mean, it fluctuates year to year, that's for sure. We have some years where we have multiple terrain parks. There was years I remember growing up, we had a terrain park on Hooter. Then we also had a terrain park up on Black Bear. And we had multiple parks. And then we had some years where there's no terrain park. It depends staffing to staffing, snow to snow, but the impact on the community, I think, is always great.
It was a terrain park basically on sourdough, and it just grew as the demand for it, more hits, more jumps, and it became a really nice opportunity for the folks that wanted to use that part of the ski area.
Definitely an involved community. We were looking for extra help to get our park dialed in this year, and just with the small reach out to the community, the amount of people that come to volunteer to help us have the park that we've had has been nothing short of impressive. Once again, the community aspect there showing support.
Terrain parks is always hard, and even during my time, it was always a struggle. Just the amount of snow, that we could get. That to do a real good terrain park, you really need to be making snow and dedicating that snow towards it. And we had some good years and some bad. Pitch also plays into it, and Eaglecrest can be steep in spots, and so really building that terrain park was always tough. I think the greatest thing about Eaglecrest is the whole mountain is kind of its own terrain park. There are very few spots that I've been, in the whole country or North America that has such kind of fun and varied terrain in such a small package, and just watching kids and adults send themselves off of stuff and learn tricks on natural terrain, I always thought was really cool.
Eaglecrest means so much to the Juneau community. There's so much about the mountain and its history that make it so unique that it's hard to sum it up in one word, but we asked everyone to try anyways.
Gnarly.
Eaglecrest is challenging.
And for me personally, I'd say probably home.
Amazing.
Unique, and I would say, the crest is the best. Sorry for the pun.
One word, I would say community. Yeah, one word is community.
Amazing, I guess. It's the best I could come up with. Transient.
Awesome.
It's probably a little hokey, but I'd say magical.
I'll cheat and use two words. How about crown jewel? Eaglecrest is just one of the very special things about Juneau.
Community. It's a really fun community up there. They're just, a great group of people and really passionate about it.
I think it's family. I think when I was there, we really tried to have a sense of family amongst the staff. We all had to work together under some challenging conditions, and families quite often have to interact and get along together under challenging conditions. So that was about, through the thick and thin of it, we remained friends.
If I could buy a house on memory lane, I'd put my money down and I'd sign my name on that little corner lot where it don't ever rain. And we'd stay good as new, like a fresh coat of paint. You'd be mine in the shine of the front porch light. Yeah, I might as well live there, baby. That's where I spend most of my time. Thinking about those sunsets that bled into jean jacket nights, those tangled up mornings lost in paradise. Still drunk on the feeling when I close my eyes. You're pulling me closer, your head on my shoulder. We never let go and we loving you as usual, telling you you're beautiful. Oh, I'd be happily delusional. Think about those sunsets that